Now, this is the big story for this morning. The Jamaican Minister of Transport, Daryl Vaz, has announced a ban on ride-hailing services like Uber and InDrive, citing national concerns. Now, the ban is pending legal advice and will take effect immediately once, I guess, they clear that hurdle. Is this a knee-jerk reaction, and what is causing this immediate ban? What are the implications? We have with us this morning well-known criminologist, Dr. Jason McKay, who's our very special guest in the Big Story segment. Good morning, Dr. McKay. How are you doing today?
Hi, Doc. Hi, Richie. How are you doing? I'm great, man. I'm great.
All right. I'm doing well, and I'm happy to have you on the program. What would you say, Dr. McKay, are the potential links, if any, between ride-hailing services and national security concerns in Jamaica? Are those concerns real or imagined?
Well, I mean, there are possible risks to, doing an independent call to a transport operator who you don't know, who you just met on some app or something like that, and who's not necessarily gone through all of the legal checks. But I mean, it's a bigger legal issue. We have specific criteria for people to use for hire and reward. You have to have a PPV license in order to be driving that car. Your car has to be a PPV car, and you have to be insured to cover any liability that occurs. So I don't see how those things could exist in a situation where you're going through an app. I mean, so apart from the obvious risk of, going on an app to try and find a driver, just like that. If you do something, if you're to call a licensed taxi service, at least the taxi service, has information on the person that they have sent for you. You know what I mean? And there's somewhere that an investigative trail can go. But when you just go on an app and somebody comes to, what process has taken place and what is the trail that's left. But I mean, those things are just the personal risk is just one issue. To me, we have laws as it relates to public transport, and I'm not sure that these laws could possibly be followed in an app type of transport service.
So the long and short of it is that you do see some areas of concern if these ride-hailing services should continue to operate in the country.
Yeah, I think there needs to be. We need to have some clarity. What is the insurance liability? If the vehicle crash, is the passenger insured? Is the other person that the vehicle may have the accident with also covered now? Because if your car is being used for hire and reward and you're not insured for that purpose, the insurance company won't cover neither you, your passenger, or the person you're with. So all of these things need to be ironed out first,
Do you think calling for a ban at this time on these ride-hailing services, is a way to prevent crime?
Well, I mean, I think Minister Vaz was specific that there was a number of factors that he was making reference to. I imagine crime is one of them. I think what I pretty much got from the release was that there hasn't been an adequate preparation for this type of service. The groundwork hasn't been done, so they need to have that period of research to make sure that it fits into the culture of our transport here.
So do you see an opportunity for law enforcement agencies to work with or to work out some kind of better arrangements with these ride-hailing companies? Is it time for that to happen?
Well, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what they're doing now, but I don't think that it is. I'm not too sure that the very essence of it could actually be improved. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm not too sure that you could actually make that type of app transport to fit into our legal system.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure we can, because once we have the requirements of having a particular type of license, the vehicle having to be registered as a PPV, insured, and things like that, then you've changed the whole essence of how these apps work.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and I'm not too sure that they can actually function in that type of way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's look at the role of telecommunications providers in these services that are, we call them ride sharing services being offered. Are there some legal implications? Should they be removed from our territory, so to speak?
You're referring to the telecom services,
yes,
or the ride sharing services?
The ride sharing services.
I wouldn't say removed from the territory. I think that if there is a way that they can fit into our legal transport framework, then they should remain. But it has to be possible. You know, I from how I've seen them operate internationally, it's far more far more casual legally than what we have here. We have an extremely tight transport system, which you have to actually have if you have a license. If you're going to run a route which is a different totally, then you actually have to have a route license. So it's such a rigid system in Jamaica. I'm not sure that you could actually ever bend and twist it to fit into our legal framework here. If you can, then everything is cool. It's good that now the opportunities of every person to earn, but you must remember that there are persons who have spent quite a lot of time and money to be legal and fit that framework. What you don't want to do is create an imbalance where where one particular group has to invest so much to be legal and legitimate, and then somebody else can just get into the market without going through the same type of process. Then you have an unbalanced competitive platform,
Mm-hmm. You are a well-known criminologist here in Jamaica. I'm wondering if, when certain decisions are being taken, if they seek out persons like yourself to get some perspectives, maybe to contribute really to effective policies and regulations as it relates to these services and other matters to do with criminality in our country. Do they tap your energies?
Not necessarily mine in particular. I mean, my case may be a bit different in that I'm with the JCF and so on,
Mm-hmm.
But before laws are passed, there's a fair amount of effort put into research, and it's pretty thorough. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if there was actually a legal route to creating a lot of these rights services in Jamaica. Because they're new, I don't think there was a legal framework around it. There was a legal framework around transport, but this is a new technology. This for us. I don't know if there was any legal framework to do it. You could just do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to get a comment from you, Dr. McKay, on the use of things like GPS tracking, emergency alert systems, whether or not you think that they can be used to enhance public safety and even ride-sharing services in Jamaica at this time.
Well, anything that creates a record of where you were carried out by whom, makes it a safe situation, because the person's account. What I think every every vehicle should be tracked. Once you're engaging in some form of commerce with people that are going to have something to do with your vehicle. So if you're going to be doing delivery services, if you're going to be doing certainly if you're going to be carrying your person, it should be mandatory that it's tracked. If you so there's a process that the investigators can go because there's a risk to the persons who go into vehicles. Mm-hmm. So to me, that should be another part having a hackney carriage license.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be my final question. Are you in agreement with the ban, or are you not for it at this time?
I think there needs to be a period of research into to see how it can fit into our legal framework that maybe should have taken place before it's at this point. But I think at this stage, what you don't want to do is you don't want to allow something to keep happening if you know that it doesn't fit into to our required legal framework as it relates to insurance, as it relates to the law. People, you don't want people can be calling for the ride sharing, but the driver is still subject to being prosecuted by the police for a breach. It has to fit, and if that wasn't done before, then it needs to be done now. So it wouldn't be responsible to keep it running, until you actually are comfortable that we're aligned legally.
Yes.
And the same token, there are persons who are earning a living doing this, and it's a hard blow to just stop someone doing, just like that. So it has a double pronged effect. Mm-hmm. The unfortunate thing is that you can't allow something illegal to continue happening if it is legal, and that's important. There may be something in the law that I don't know that allows it, but in my opinion, if you don't have a PPV, like car is not licensed for PPV use, and your insurance is to facilitate it, then you're in breach.
Yeah. You're operating illegally.
You can't be allowed to break the law, because of the economic situation now. You have to adjust the law first before you allow any activity. You just can't sit by and allow persons to do something that's illegal. Yeah. Until when people are looking on, the danger to the driver, the passenger coming into the unit. There's also a danger to the driver, in this type of service as well. And then what happens when the ride-sharing unit plows into a bus stop and injures 4 people who are unable to take care of themselves for the rest of their lives? Mm-hmm. Is the insurance on that car going to take care of those people that have been injured? Or is that insurance no good because they were being used for hire and reward? And that's a very part of a big part of the picture. Mm-hmm. There's liability issues.
Dr. Jason McKay, I want to thank you for coming on this morning and giving us a reaction to this announced ban on ride-hailing service in Jamaica. And we look forward to having further conversations with you. Have a good day, and thanks again.
Thanks for having me, Richie.
All right, take care. A chat there with, of course, Dr. Jason McKay.